Okay, so lecture 4 is rules for differentiation. So before we begin with the set of rules, so mo ni ang set of rules kaning ako ang gin-circle. Let's start with this one, kana. Okay. So first, we are going to let u and v equal to the differentiable functions of the independent variable x or the independent variable. So, di ba, dili man siya always na x lang ang independent variable, nagadepende na siya sa problem. Say for example, we have y is equals to x squared. Therefore, this function or the independent variable of this function is x, then the independent variable is y. Then, for example, another example, s is equals to t or square root of t. So, our independent variable is t, and then our dependent variable is s. So, s depends on the value of t. So, ang pasabot lang aning we are going to let u and v become differentiable functions of the independent variable x. So, meaning kani ang mag-matter or kani ato ang i-differentiate with respect to x with respect to t. Okay? So therefore, we can say that we're going to differentiate y with respect to x. With respect to x. Then this one, we're going to differentiate s with respect to t because t here is the independent variable. Okay? So next thing to know is n is equals to any real number. Then lastly, c is just a constant. So constants are 1, negative 2, 0, and so on. Okay, so let's begin with the first rule. So this just means d over dx just means that we are going to differentiate whatever it is na tapad niya. So for the number 1, ang tapad niya is c. So we are going to differentiate c with respect to x. Okay, so with respect to x because x may nakabutang dra. Okay? So c here is constant, di ba? So the derivative of a constant is just 0. So mo na. For example, ato ang i-differentiate ang 4 with respect to x, yang derivative is just 0. Okay? Ana lang siya pag solve. Then this is called the constant rule. Okay, so let's proceed with number 2. Once again, the derivative of kung si tapad dira which is x, the derivative of x with respect to x, kay x bang nadara, is just equal to 1. Okay, so mao na itong timan-an kung unsa ang dira, unsang variable dira, dapat the same po dira. So, di siya ingon na para ma-differentiate na to, ana lang. So, pwede siya lahi na variable, pero ang simplest na form ani kay kung unsa nga diriya ma-differentiate na to, dapat pareha po dira. Okay? So later ma-guess na ninyo. So the derivative of x with respect to x is just 1. Then this is called the identity function rule. Okay, next. The derivative of cx with respect to x nani iyahang is equal to pagawas ang c, padaplay lang c ang constant. Then we're going to derive x with respect to x. So therefore, c na lang nabilin dira. C na lang nabilin because the derivative of x is just 1. So c times 1 is just c or the constant. Number 4, the derivative of the derivative of x raised to n is just equal to n multiplied by x raised to n minus 1. Okay. Next, number 5, the derivative of c multiplied by u is just, once again, ipagawas na po ng c. Then ato ang i-derive ang u with respect to x. So ningon ko ganiya na dapat kung unsa ang nadiri mao pud ang nadiri, di ba? Pero if ato ang i-recall ang ang u is just a differentiable function of the independent variable x. So therefore, we can say that u contains some values or variables or variable na x na lang. So kumbaga, our u here, sa example lang niya, our u here can be equal to x squared plus 1 or u is equals to x over 2 and so on. As long as u is a function that contains the independent variable x, kay x man ito ang i-derive dara. Okay? So, mo na ang pasabot niya. So, ang pasabot ani na formula, di ba, di ba, ato ang gi-padaplin ng c, yan, ato ang gi-derive ang u with respect to x. So, pwede ma-derive ang u with respect to x because once again, u contains variable x. Okay? So, next, the derivative of u plus v with respect to x is equal to du over dx, or the derivative of u with respect to x plus the derivative of v with respect to x. So therefore, mura ra nato siya og i-distribute ang kaning dx dira, d over dx. So ato ang i-distribute dira, pagkauman i-distribute na po dira. So inana ang yang concept, okay? Then this is called the sum rule. Okay, so once again, u contains x, then also v contains x because of this. Because ato ang gilet ang u and v become a function with the independent variable x. Okay? Next, second to the last, the derivative of u multiplied by v with respect to x is inani iyang formula. Okay, so naatay, kumbaga, ang pasabot ani ato ang gi-combine ang function na nagakontain og x multiplied by the function na nagakontain gyapon og x, so u ug v. Pasabot ana ang u lahi og value sa v. Nana. Okay, so next is inani. So first formula, copy lang ang u kung sa ang u na dira. And then ato ang i-derive ang v dire kana. And then next is plus copy na po ang v, so kana kung sa ang value sa v. And then multiplied by the derivative of u with respect to x, so ang derivative ani ito ang kwaon. Then this is called the product rule. Then last is the derivative of u over v, or u divided by v. So somewhat the same with the kanilang example u multiplied by v, then kanilang example u divided by v. So laylay sila formula. So ang formula aning last kay kani, so first is copy ang v kung sa ang value sa v dira, multiplied by the derivative of u, or the derivative of this u. And then next is minus u, copy ang unsay na dira, multiplied by the derivative of v with respect to x, so kung sa yung v dira ato ang i-derive, o ato ang pangitaon ng derivative. Then over v squared, so ato lang ning i-squared na dira. Then this is called the quotient rule. Quotient rule because divide, then kanang isa product rule because multiply. So anyway, libog siya sabton pag wala tay examples. So ang next section ani na topic kay natay mga examples, and then 8 examples to be exact. Okay, so nakabutang sa example kana, find the derivative of the following functions. So let's start with number 1. So let's say answer. Okay. So number 1, I'll just copy the given. So y is equals to 5. So in order to find the derivative of this is just going to be dy over dx. Diba, maman ito sa previous na topic. If you're going to derive, diba, remember, we're going to derive with respect to x in this case. So therefore, the derivative of y with respect to x is just, the derivative of y with respect to x is just dy over dx. Okay? And then, the derivative of a constant, remember, this is number 1 in the formula. So this one. So the derivative of any constant is just 0. So therefore, the derivative of y is just dy, or the derivative of this function, y is equals to 5, is just 0. Okay? So this is now our answer. Okay, so for number 2, we have y is equals to x. So, kani mas klaro na siya. X here is the independent variable. So, we're going to derive with respect to x. And then this is the dependent variable y. So, we're just going to put, if we are going to differentiate this, y becomes dy over dx. Ngayon siyang dy over dx. Remember, wala siya na yung, diba, ang derivative sa x is 1. Then, kung y po siya, dili siya may mong 1. So, dili siya may mong 1 because ang nakabutang, we are differentiating with respect to x. Then, since this is y, therefore, mao ni iyahang derivative. Okay? I hope na clear na. So, we are only going to focus on the independent variable. Okay, so asa na to? So, y, the derivative of y is just dy over dx. And then the derivative of x with respect to x. So this is the second rule, which is the identity function rule. So the derivative of x is just 1. So therefore, this is our answer. Okay, let's proceed with number 3. Y is equals to 10x. So once again, x here is the independent variable. Therefore, we are going to differentiate with respect to x. So this is just dy over dx is equal to, this example number 3 requires us to use the third rule. So the third rule states that if there is a constant, ato siya i-factor out, then we are only going to differentiate the independent variable, which is x. So therefore, this is just 10 multiplied by the derivative of x with respect to x. Okay? Copy ang 10. Then, the derivative of x with respect to x is just 1 because of the identity function rule. So therefore, the derivative of y with respect to x is just the value 10. Okay? Because 10 multiplied by 1 is just 10. Okay, so, di ba? Sayon lang. Number 4, y is equals to x raised to 5. So in this example, this is somewhat similar with the form found in the fourth rule, which is this one, kanang akong giaruhan. So x raised to n. N here is 5, right? So once again, we're going to differentiate with respect to x, because x is the independent variable. So this is just dy over dx is equals to x raised to 5. So kani focus ta ni na formula, okay? So ang nakabutang sa formula, ato ang ibutang ang n. N here is the exponent. So n here is 5. Ito wala lang sige. N here is 5. So kani n here is, sa our example is 5, right? So mani ang n. Then multiplied by x raised to n minus 1. So n minus 1, this case is just 5 minus 1. Okay? So, wala to. 5 minus 1. So, therefore, the derivative of y with respect to x is just 5 multiplied by x raised to 5 minus 1 is 4. So, this is the answer. So, kung malibog mo na formula, mag-kwanta diri. Example, y is equals to x raised to 6. Ako ang ginabuhatan ni, so dy over dx na sa isa dira. Ako ang ginabuhatan ni, kandi, ito ang i-bring down, di ba? Then, atuwa na siya minus 1 over 1. So, ano lang. So, bring down x, 6, which is the exponent, 6, multiplied by x, raised to 6 minus 1, which is 5. So, ana ang, para sa ako masayon. Sabton. Okay, so, proceed with number 5. Number 5 is s is equals to 3t cubed. So in this example, we are not using x and y variables, but instead we are using t and s. So therefore, we cannot say that the derivative of that is dy over dx because wala may dy over dx, wala may y of x dira. We are only dealing with s and t. So therefore, the independent variable here is t, then the dependent variable here is s. So we are going to differentiate both sides with respect to t. So this now becomes the derivative of s with respect to t. Okay? And then this is t, once again, with respect to t because our independent variable is t. So always keep that in mind. Then once again, this is a combination. Number 5, we are going to use this rule because you may notice natay constant. So number 5, natay 3, di ba? Natay 3. Then natay u. So unsa atong u diriya? So ang atuang u sa example is just this one. So di ba, remember u is a differentiable function of the independent variable. So independent variable is t, so therefore mo netong u. So let me just rewrite this. This is our c, then this is our u, right? So in this one, in the rule, it states that we are going to put aside c, then derive u with respect to the independent variable, which is t. So set aside 3, then derive u. U here is derive u. Then since we know the value of u is just t cubed with respect to t, because t is the independent variable. Okay. So we are done with the left side of the equation. So as is lang sana is equals to, then let's proceed with the right side of the equation. Copy 3, then the derivative of t cubed with respect to t is just by using this rule, we're going to end up with, so multiplied by 3t squared. So the derivative of that is just bring down 3 multiplied by t raised to 3 minus 1, so 2. So nana siya pagkuha. Okay. So let's proceed. 3 multiplied by 3 is 9, then multiplied by t squared. So therefore the derivative of s with respect to t is just 9t squared. Okay. Okay, so number 6. Number 6, we have r is equals to h squared plus 2h plus 1. Okay, this is, in this example, we are once again using another set of variables that are not x and y. So in this case, we are using r and h. Then h here is our independent variable. Y here is, r here is the dependent variable. So you may notice na naa siya plus sign, nampoy plus sign. So by that symbol, we are going to use the sum the sum rule. So, di ba? U plus V plus blah 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 something. Dili na siya limited sa U plus V. Napa na siya plus. So, for example, Z is another function na independent variable is H. So, and so on. Okay? So, ato ang buhaton ani, ato ang distribute ang derivative, di ba? Ang derivative symbol. So, derive na to ng U, derive po na to ang V. Okay? So, balik ka sa example. So, remember, we are going to derive or differentiate with respect to H. So, the derivative of R, just derivative of R with respect to H, is just equal to, diba, distribute man. So, the derivative of H squared with respect to H plus the derivative of 2H with respect to H plus the derivative of 1 with respect to H, right? So this is just dr over dh is equals to the derivative of h squared with respect to x is just 2h, right? Okay, bring down 2, then exponent minus 1. Plus 2, copy ang 2, and then derive, copy ang 2, differentiate h with respect to h. The derivative of h with respect to h is just 1, diba? Plus the derivative of a constant is always going to be 0. Simplify, so we actually have the answer, but we need to simplify it. So derivative of r with respect to h is just 2h plus 2. So this is now our answer. Okay, so I know this is a lengthy process, but we can actually use shortcuts. Let me just copy this. Okay, so ito ay butang shortcuts dira. Pag mahawd na ta or mahawd na mag-differentiate, dali lang ni siya. So this is just the left side, just dr over dh, because h is the independent variable. It's just derivative of that is just 2h, right? Then this is just 2. Then this is just plus 0. Okay? So pwede na ta dili mo agi aning taas kina process, di ba? So, pwede na dili na ta diretso. So kumbaga ato na lang i-derive. So the derivative of that is 2h. The derivative of this is 2 because the derivative of h is 1. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2. The derivative of a constant is just always going to be 0. So therefore, dr over dh is equals to 2h plus 2. So, pag mag-quiz ta or mag-assignment ko sa inyo, pwede na kanina process ang atong gamiton para ma-shorten ang process. Okay? Okay, so the next example, number 7. Just y is equals to x squared multiplied by x cubed plus 4. Okay? So, you may notice na tayo multiply na to ni sa kani. Diba? So, since multiply man, we are going to use product rule. So, product rule states that ato lang na i-copy ni. Okay, so that is the formula. So, once again, we have two methods in solving this. So, let's start with product rule first. So, product rule is this one. So, we are going to let this function equal to u, and then this equal to v, right? So dy over dx because y o x naman po dato ang variables, and then kung unsang nasa ubos mao na ang independent variable, which is x, is equals to u, di ba? U here is x squared, right, multiplied by the derivative of v with respect to x, or the derivative of this function. So the derivative of that function is just 3x squared plus 0, diba? Bring down 3 multiplied by x raised to 3 minus 1. Then this one is just a constant, so 0. So we are done with this part. The next part is this one. So just add a plus sign. Next is copy the function v, which is just copy this one. So this is just x cubed plus 4. Then multiplied by the derivative of u with respect to x, or the derivative of this. So the derivative of this x squared is just 2x. Next thing to do is simplify the answer. It's just x squared multiplied by 3x squared plus distribute 2x. It's just 2x raised to 4 plus 8x. Then this one distribute. This is now 3x raised to 4 plus 2x raised to 4 plus 8x. Simplify again, like terms man sila, so pwede ma-add. Okay? So this is now 5x raised to 4 plus 8x. So we can no longer simplify this one. So therefore, the derivative of y with respect to x is just 5 multiplied by x raised to 4 plus 8x. That is the answer. Okay? So this is just very simple. So this is by using product rule. So since gingon ako ganiya na kanina problem pwede siya ma-solve og lahi na pamagi. So ato ang kopyaon usab. So y is equals to x squared multiplied by x cubed plus 4. So this is again number 7 gyapon ta. Ato lang siyang isolve gamit ang lahi na pamagi. So masayo na pamagi ani ato ay distribute, di ba? This now becomes x raised to 5 plus 4 x squared. So y becomes x raised to 5 plus 4x squared. Then the derivative of y with respect to x is just 5x raised to 4 plus 8x. So therefore, this is our answer. Okay, so it's really up to you kung unsa nyo ang gamiton. Okay? So, not always na applicable ang two solutions. Ani na example. So, for example, kani natay y. Then balik ta diri di ba dapat equal sila og answer bisag lahi na process or process ang imong gigamit. So example natay y is equals to x multiplied by x squared plus 1 raised to 3. We cannot distribute x here because our binomial contains an exponent. So therefore, we cannot simply distribute the value of x. So in this example, we're going to use the product rule. So we're going to let this become u, and then let this let this one become u, and then let all of this become v. Okay, so always keep that in mind. Okay, so for the last example, number 8, balik ta. Number 8 is just y is equals to 4 over x minus 1. So this is using division. So therefore, we are going to use the last rule in this topic, which is the quotient rule. So let me just copy the quotient rule formula. Okay, so that is the quotient rule formula. So u here is 4, then v here is x minus 1. Okay, So, the derivative of y with respect to x. With respect to x, because once again, x here is the independent variable. It's just equal to this formula right here. So, divide na to na. Let's start with this one. So, v here is just x minus 1. Butang sa parenthesis. Butang na to sa parenthesis because more than one terms siya, or two terms to be exact. So, 1 and 2. Dapat, as is na sila pagka butang. Okay? I hope nakabalo naman na. Multiplied by the derivative of u with respect to x. So, u here is this one. Then, the derivative of a constant is always 0. So, multiplied by 0. Then, since minus ni, minus pa ni dire. Next is copy u. U is 4. So, ito ang copy ang 4. Multiplied by the derivative of v with respect to x. So, this is v. So, we're going to differentiate that in order to find its derivative. Okay, so the derivative of v with respect to x, so balik ta diri, derivative of x with respect to x is just 1. The derivative of negative 1 is 0. So, therefore, the derivative of x minus 1 is equal to 1. So, kana dira. Okay, so manata sa taas. Next is this one. So, wala tayo buhato na differentiation dira. Ato lang kopyahon ang v, butangan na itong squared. So, v is x minus 1 squared lang. So, ano lang. Then, this copy. Simplify ang taas. So, x minus 1 multiplied by 0 becomes just 0. Minus 4 multiplied by 1 is just 4 over x minus 1 squared. Once again, simplify ang taas. 0 minus 4 is just negative 4 over x minus 1 raised to 2. So, this is the derivative of y with respect to x. So, ano lang. So, we are done with the last example. So, I hope that in your own houses, you practice all of this set of rules stated here. Because, for example, mag-quiz ta, syempre, magsagol-sagol na sila. Sagol-sagol na yung gamiton ng rules. So, dapat, always mo prepared bago mo mag-take og quiz, right? So, dili lang mo magsalig sa problems na ako ang gihatag diriya because these are just very, very basic problems. Then, well, ang quiz is obviously lahi. Okay? So, that is all for this topic. See you on the next one.